We're what?
We're rolling.
We're rolling? Now? God. Hello and welcome to Geeking Out About It, the show with the world's most punctual camera operators. My name is Chance Giguiere, and today we're going to be talking about a topic that's very exciting to all of us here at KBVR TV. I of course mean virtual reality, or VR. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we can't talk about the current state of VR without first talking about the past and origins of VR. Now, virtual reality has existed as a concept in science fiction long before it was a product available for consumers. The first major attempt at a VR gaming experience for the home was actually released by Nintendo in the mid-90s. 1995 saw the release of the Virtual Boy, which was marketed as a new dimension in gaming due to its use of stereoscopic 3D. Upon its release, the Virtual Boy was met with lukewarm reception at best, with many users complaining about headaches and nausea after using the device. Others were left unimpressed by its weaker graphical capabilities and its red and black screen that was implemented as a cost-saving measure. Ultimately, the Virtual Boy was discontinued in 1996, just a few short months after its release, with only 14 games released for the system in North America and just 26 worldwide. After the failure of the Virtual Boy, VR was dormant for over a decade until the early 2010s, when a startup company called Oculus released their first dev kit for what would later become the Oculus Rift. This is what kickstarted the modern age of VR, where home computers were finally getting to the point to be powerful enough to provide users an immersive, motion-tracking virtual reality experience with quality graphics and gameplay. Since 2012, there have been a few major players to enter the VR market. Most notably, Oculus, which was later acquired by Facebook, which has released the Oculus Rift and Oculus Quest headsets. Valve partnered with HTC to release the Vive, Vive Pro, and more recently the Index, as well as numerous other mixed reality headsets, which have been manufactured by companies like Samsung, Lenovo, HP, and Microsoft. Now, we'd like to check in with some of our resident VR aficionados and hear more about some of their experiences in the world of VR gaming. All right, here we are with Sam Kuns. Sam, why don't you tell us what you're playing?
I am currently playing Stress Level Zero's Boneworks, which is an incredible game. If you haven't already played it, I recommend fully playing this game. It is awesome.
Hey everybody, I'm Austin, if you can't recognize me with the big thing on my head. And I'm going to be playing my game, Squadrons.
So, you've had a bit of experience with VR. What was your first experience like playing a VR headset for the first time?
Lots of fun. VR is a really immersive technology, so it's really fun to just put yourself in the world and just do some really crazy things.
Yeah, it seems like it. You're tearing it up in there right now.
My first experience with VR was at my friend Ryan's house. More accurately, he's closer to my brother, but he is my friend as well. And he got a Vive Pro the minute they came out. And we ended up playing actually a number of games, but we played most out of Beat Saber. We had some mods, and we played a lot of Beat Saber. I got my butt kicked on Rasputin, I remember quite extensively, and I learned how to play Wrong Side of Heaven.
So, what made you decide to go with your current headset, the Vive Pro, over the numerous other options that are on the market?
Well, at the time that we were getting into VR, by that we, I mean me and my brother Austin, who everyone knows, we were looking at all the options, and there was Oculus and Vive and things like that, and the Vive Pro just seemed like a really solid option. It's super easy to see out of. It has good headsets for parties, because you can just take it on very quickly, and it was just overall a really good investment in my opinion.
So out of all the VR games that you've played in your many years of experience, what is your number one favorite?
This one, Star Wars Squadrons, is my favorite, which is funny because it's not even technically a VR game. This game works fine. If you're not playing in VR, you can still play it just perfectly normal on a PC, but it is better in VR by a lot. And it's got this lovely, fully designed cockpits, all straight out of the Star Wars universe. It's awesome. And the ability to track your enemies mid-turn is really a great bonus. It's just fully immersive. I love its good design. And because the entire game is done from this cockpit seated position, it's the kind of game that I can play even in here with limited space for my VR. I don't have to worry about bumping into anything because I'm just sitting still.
I think my personal favorite game is another stress level 0 game called Duck Season. And what that game is a secret horror game that is disguised as a children's plug and play game. It's really interesting. It has a really fun story, and it looked beautiful.
What do you think the most exciting aspect of VR is? What gets you the most energetic?
The ideas of just immersing myself in the worlds that I love, you know? So just being able to have a lived experience in something is just super cool and fascinating to me.
Most exciting aspect of VR is immersion. I mean, obviously, games can be so much more immersive when you can be in them.
Are there any upcoming developments that you're looking forward to with the future of virtual reality?
Oh man, upcoming developments. I do not know. There's a lot of really cool things that are in development all the time that I'm probably interested. If they come up with some more really cool Star Wars content, I'm always down for that, you know? I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, everyone knows that.
What I'm most excited for? I don't know, probably whatever Special Zero is working on.
Alright, well, you seem pretty busy, so I'll leave you to it, and we're gonna get back to the studio.
Alright, see ya.
Wasn't that just wonderful? It's always nice to get out of the studio for a bit and check in with our interviewees. Now, we'd like to expand and talk about the impact that VR has had, not just on the gaming space, but with the larger science fiction genre as well.
And that is actually why I am here. Hi, everyone. Good to be back in studio.
I thought you were busy playing Bone Work.
No, the bone stopped working. So I'm now here to talk about some of my favorite stuff, which is these science fiction movies. Because, man, VR is a prominent thing in science fiction nowadays. Things like, let's say, Tron have always been around. Tron is an oldie and one of my favorites that is actually an experience of virtual reality. You might be thinking to yourself, oh, that's a little odd. Doesn't he get sucked into the game? Precisely. He gets sucked into this virtual reality. And the way we experience virtual reality at the stage that it is right now is a lot different than how it could technically potentially be in the future. We've also seen this kind of experience in things like Star Trek, where the idea of the holodeck, where it is this immersive space that you can just step into and theoretically live an entire life in there as well. And we do see aspects of life playing key roles in these science fiction films. Things like Ready Player One, where people work, live, and experience most of their prominent lives in this virtual space. They've disconnected themselves from reality and put it into a virtual one, which is kind of interesting to look at, because when you see all that kind of stuff where it's they have haptic suits where they can feel everything, it's just what would it be like to experience that so realistically? How hard would it be to tell? And telling the difference is actually a major concept that people have been addressing since The Matrix has come around. When we were kids, we all joked about how, oh, hey, we're living in a simulation, deja vu, things like that, things that The Matrix kind of pushed into the forefront of a lot of people's minds. And it became a very real thing for a lot of people. These science fiction movies have taken the idea of VR and just really ran with it. There's stories all around, all different types of things addressing what would it be like to be trapped in VR, things like Sword Art Online, which is a fantastic show that dives into that concept, or even goofy content like Spy Kids 3 has addressed that very same theme. So there's a lot of stuff to look at. And so if you're really looking into virtual reality and think about the concepts, you have to ask yourself, what kind of thing would you like to see out of it? Because personally, I am a big fan of VR. I have said that in my interviews. I love the immersion aspects of it because you have the potential to live in some of your favorite worlds, some of these fictitious worlds. It's an escape for a lot of people. But that's the dangerous thing, is that you can't dive fully into the escape, because then you lose everything that matters. So, there's that. There's also a lot of stories that go about the idea of living through memories. So if you've ever heard of the Assassin's Creed franchise, that one dives into actually a virtual space as well, except the virtual space that it puts you into lives through the memories of your ancestors. So you get to go back and have the lived experience of people in your bloodline, which that sounds pretty cool because it would be really interesting to see what life was like for, say, my ancestor all the way back in Germany all those years ago, you know, before people really figured out how to use the wheel, you know, things like that. I think it'd be really interesting to uncover some history through that. Of course, you know, the real trick was discovering if it's a fabrication or not. But that's all I really have to say about that.
Wow, thank you for that, Sam. That was very in-depth coverage of how it applies to science fiction. And now, some of you at home might be thinking, wow, this VR stuff sounds really cool and exciting, but I don't have the first idea about where to get started with it. So now, we're going to check in with somebody who also doesn't have much experience in the world of VR and show you just how easy it can be to get started for yourself. I'm here with Bobby DiMarco, the new producer for Locals Live. Now, Bobby here doesn't have a whole lot of experience with VR gaming, which makes him a perfect guinea pig to showcase the Oculus Quest 2 from Facebook, which in my opinion is one of the best ways to get started in the world of VR gaming. Now that's for a couple reasons. Starting off with the price of entry. The Quest 2 can be had for as little as $299, which might not sound cheap, but when you compare it to something like the Vive or the Index, it's an absolute steal. Another factor that makes the Quest 2 such a great option for newcomers is the fact that it can be operated completely standalone. You don't need to be connected to a big, beefy gaming computer to have a great time with it. You can download games, apps, and even some streaming services directly to the headset itself. But enough talk. All the bells and whistles don't mean much if it's not fun to play. Let's find out. So now we've got Bobby inside the world of VR. And the first thing that the Quest will ask you to do is set up the Guardian boundary. And this is basically the perimeter for your play space that makes sure you don't bump into any walls or furniture in your play area. And just to show how easy it is, I'm having Bobby do it and I'm not gonna help him. Good luck. So he's confirming the floor level right now, and then it's gonna ask him to trace a path around the room. And that's all it takes. The Guardian has been set up, and you know, did you know how to do that before we started rolling?
Not really, but it's pretty intuitive.
Yeah. That's one of the things that makes this Quest 2 such a great option for newcomers, is that all the instructions and tutorials are very clear, very easy to follow along with, even if you've never used it before. Now let's get you into a game, huh? So the first game that we're gonna have Bobby play is called Beat Saber. This is a really exciting rhythm game. It's essentially Guitar Hero with lightsabers. So you match the color of your sword to the color of the blocks coming at you, and just slash to the beat of your favorite songs.
Okay, so we're at a screen for mods, solo, Interscope, online, campaign, and party. So I'm assuming solo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so many songs. What do I want to do? Should I do Thriller by Michael Jackson?
Pick whatever you like.
Let's do Thriller, that's a good choice. And I'm no expert, so we're gonna do normal mode. Okay, are we ready?
Are you ready, kids?
Are you ready, kids? Let's see. We're gonna play it. Okay, I got my sabers. We got red and left, blue and right. Okay, that sounds kind of scary. Maybe it wasn't a good choice. Ooh. Ah. Came way faster than I thought it would. Wow. I won't say I'm doing the best, but I'm getting the hang of it now.
Yeah, Beat Saber is one of those games that's easy to learn, hard to master. It's a simple concept, but once those blocks start flying at you, it's a different story.
Yeah. What an interesting concept, though.
I know, right? It's a type of game that can really only work in VR. That's what keeps driving people into this market, into the world of VR.
I don't know what that was.
Oh, was it like the big block?
Yeah, I don't know what to do in that moment.
He's gotta dodge or like duck.
Okay, I was missing all of them at first. I think I'm getting it now. It's really responsive. I'm surprised, actually.
So, something else that's really neat about the Quest 2, in addition to being able to use it completely standalone, you can still also use it with a VR-ready gaming PC, whether that's with a USB-C cable or wirelessly through an app called Virtual Desktop, which is what we're using right now. So this headset is connected to my computer in the other room, and the game is getting streamed to Bobby with almost no latency, no noticeable latency. You know, if you didn't watch me set it up, I don't think you would know that it was on a computer in the other room.
No, I would think it was just like this by itself. I now know to dodge this thing. Alright. Whew. There was no blocks for so long, and now there's so many. Ah. Whoa, this is trippy. The audio is really good on it too.
I know, I was surprised by that. I thought I was gonna have to be using this with headphones more, but those two kind of head speakers do a pretty good job, especially in a music game.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it makes it still feel pretty immersive, which I like. I don't have to have like heavy headphones or something on. Cool.
All right.
Level
So,
cleared.
What did you think of Beat Saber? I know you've played that like once before, so
Yeah.
how'd you feel?
It's pretty cool. I had to get the hang of the whole like swinging and matching stuff up to like where I wanted it to go, but once I got the hang of it, I kind of got into a whole groove, dancing a little bit. So
Yeah, the motion controls with these touch controllers is really, really good.
well, it's really spot on. That's what threw me off too.
Yeah, you're expecting some kind of delay, but it's really fluid.
Yeah, no, it's really cool, and I like that when I like lift my hands up into view, it's like still like very accurate to how I'm feeling in real life, you know. So it feels like my own hands as I lift it up.
And just as an example to prove how well the tracking works on these, and because we're on carpet and I feel comfortable enough doing this, Bobby, catch.
Cool. Put it back on. Get back to going. This is really cool. I feel like I could toss it back to you if I could see you.
So, Beat Saber is a great game that you can play just standing in one location. So now we're gonna ramp things up a bit and get Bobby moving around in our play space that we've set up with Superhot VR. Now Superhot is another really exciting first-person shooter with a twist. Time only moves as fast as you move, so this lets you do really crazy Matrix-style gunfighting, and you can play it as slow or as fast as you'd like. Oh, and then the joysticks, if you click those in, you'll drop.
Do I throw that?
Yeah, so you like click the stick while you're moving and you can throw it.
Oh, I get it. Ah! Did I get shot? Okay, let's figure this out again. Do I pick this up again? Okay, and I click the stick? Oh. So many bullets! Ah! I win.
See, so it's games like these that make you really want to have that wide guardian boundary set up, especially if you got a lot of art or pictures on your walls.
How do I drop it?
Unfortunately, it does not track people or pets that move into the play space, so they're responsible for their own safety.
Holy crap. Sir, get out of here. Can I take his gun? Is that possible? I did! I don't know what just happened.
And you can just punch him in the head too.
Oh, you can. That makes sense. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this a lot more than I did before. I definitely want a gun, though. No. Frick.
The really freeing thing about VR is you can move in all directions, so you can dodge or bend backwards, whatever it takes to avoid those bullets coming at you.
Okay, I can see all these bullets now. I'm grabbing this gun now. I'm gonna drive ninja stars? What the heck? I don't even know how to throw. Oh, I got shot in the head. Gosh dang it. This guy right here, he always comes in. Gets in. I'm gonna get him first. Not these stupid pool balls in the way. Okay. Let's do this different one. I forgot what it was called, but I'm somewhere. Oh, I threw something finally! I figured it out. If the aiming's bad, it's not the machine's fault, it's just me. Okay, we'll switch to a different one. Let's go to Endless Pazzo Pizza?
Extended amount of time.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Man, this guy's got some good reaction time compared to me. How did that gun just break? What the heck? Okay. Third time's the charm, right? This dude came out of nowhere.
So, Bobby, you've now played 2 VR games. Superhot was totally new to you, right? You played a bit of Beat Saber before. What did you think? What are your first impressions?
I thought Beat Saber, pretty much similar. So, when I remember playing it the first time, obviously I didn't play it very long. I liked the choice of songs and stuff like that, but the other one I really liked because I felt like I had more control of the things I could do. Just like the guns and stuff like that. I was able to like move around and shoot at people, but getting the hang of picking stuff up took a second, but I think I got it in the end. So yeah, I thought it was super cool.
Do you feel super hot?
I feel super hot. I felt super cool. I felt like James Bond, just shooting everybody. So I'd play again for sure.
So, Bobby, now that you've got to have a bit more experience with VR and play it for, an extended amount of time and even the nitty-gritty setup stuff, what'd you think of the overall experience? Would you consider getting one for yourself?
I actually really would. I was telling Chance off camera that my stepdad wants to get one, and I'm going to persuade him to get one so I can play with it a little bit more. It's really intuitive, and there's games for everybody to play. I'm not a big gamer, but I would still probably play it. Or try to even maybe get Beat Saber on it to try to play around with that some more. So, yeah.
Great. All right. Well, thanks for coming out, Bobby. This was a lot of fun to shoot. Now, let's head back to the studio and check in with our hosts. So, there you have it, a brief introduction to the vast, vast world of virtual reality. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Geeking Out About It. As always, be sure to subscribe to KBVR TV so you don't miss out on any new episodes of any of our shows. Also, be sure to follow us on social media. We've got Instagram and Twitter, and we also live stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/KBVR TV 26. For Geeking Out About It, I'm Chance Giguiere.
And I'm Sam Kuns.
Now, if you'll excuse me, somebody just beat my high score on Beat Saber, and I can't let that slide.